Alright, y'all. I'm gonna try to explain this video as easy as possible because I know a lot of people that are gonna be watching this are very new to credit. You guys are just starting with y'all credit. You guys are interested. If y'all see my videos, y'all like, damn, I'm trying to tap in with this credit shit, man, but I don't know shit about it. So I'm gonna be very uh how do I say it? Very beginner friendly. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to explain it in simple terms, bruh. All right, look, y'all. So if you guys want to start y'all credit, the first thing y'all should do, and this is for the people that they just turned 18 or shit. You haven't started credit at all. You just been sitting on your ass. You haven't been doing shit, bro. You need credit, man. Get into Navy Fed. That's the first step. I know a lot of people when it comes to credit, they always talk about Navy Fed. Look, y'all, there's a reason, why people talk about Navy Fed a lot. The thing is, with Navy Fed, you know, if you bank with them for a good minute, meaning like have a little checking account, deposit a little check in there, some money here and there. If you apply for if you got like products like a secure credit card or a pledge loan, which I'm gonna explain how this shit works, um, they will throw you 15K, 20K, 25K credit card limit. And then as soon as you apply for a credit card, you can apply for an auto loan as well, and they will approve you. But you got to build a relationship with them, meaning you got to bank with them. And then, if you got a secure card with them, pay it off on time every month, use it, pay it off, use it, pay it off. The pledge loan, make sure you know how that shit works, and you keeping up with the payments on the pledge loan, you know which I'm gonna explain how that shit works as well. But you have to build a relationship with them for around 6 to 8 months. That way you can get approved for what I just told you. So when I was starting off in the credit game, when I got into Navy Fed, I did a backdoor method. All right, y'all. So a lot of y'all, for the people that don't know how to get into Navy Fed, you have to get military access. So what I did is, so there's two methods. You get an access number, or you get into the backdoor method, which I created. You get what I'm saying? But I would recommend y'all, if you got somebody that's already into Navy Fed, ask them for their access number. You get what I'm saying? Ask them for their access number and get into Navy Fed. But if you don't, then try the backdoor method. All right. So the backdoor method is basically you calling up Navy Fed and telling them, hey, look, I was going through the online application with you guys, but I noticed that you guys require extra documentation to become a member. I actually have a grandfather that was in the Navy that passed away, but I have none of his information. But I was wondering if I could still become a member with you guys. If you get connected with the right representative, y'all, they'll let you slide in. If you get a representative that says you need something called DD-214, which is a document proving that you have a family member that was in the military, then just hang up and then recall again, because you need military access to get into Navy Fed. You get what I'm saying? You can't just make a checking account with Navy Fed. No, you need an access number of a member that's already into Navy Fed, or you need to do the backdoor method. You get what I'm saying? So just hang up, recall again. Sometimes I get messages where people say the backdoor method doesn't work. It doesn't work at all, bro. Like, I've been calling and I've been fucking up. Man, you probably saying some dumb shit. You probably saying something wrong to the point where they not letting you in. All right. And then, like I said, you got to keep calling. Sometimes you get representatives that, they very strict on that. They say they want DD-214. Nah, just hang up, recall again. When you get that right representative that they start asking you for your basic details to open up a checking account, you in the door. You know what I'm saying? A couple days later, you already got access to make a checking account with them. You can log in and everything, and you in the door. Maybe that same day as well. So yeah, first thing, get into Navy Fed, get a secure card. Let me just show y'all real quick. Let this load. All right. So once you get into Navy Fed, get a secure card. This is for the beginners out there. All right, y'all. This is straight for the beginners out there that are just starting their credit from scratch. Get a secure card if you don't got no credit, right? And you could deposit the minimum, which I think is $200. You get what I'm saying? So you need some type of money. You deposit the money into the secure credit card, you use it, pay it off on time. Remember, the money is never gone. The $200 that you put up into the secure card is in the card. You get what I'm saying? So instead of using your dumbass debit card, use your secure credit card. Just deposit, the money right here. Use it, pay it off on time with your bank account details. You can connect your bank account details with your Navy Fed account. All right. So you apply for this, right? Now, what you can do as well, you could get a Discover card. Get another trade line on your credit, which is a Discover card. The more accounts you have, the better. The reason why I say that is because you don't want to have a thin credit profile, meaning that you don't want to have a little bit of accounts on your credit. You get what I'm saying? Because if you have a thin credit profile, when you later down the line, when you try to get approved for funding, they look at your credit report and they say, he don't really got a lot of shit on his credit. She don't really got a lot of shit on her credit. Like, we can't really make a decision to get you approved for funding. So you want to have your profile seasoned a little bit. You want to have some accounts. You want to show them activity. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you could get a Discover card as well. If you're a student, you could get the Discover It Student Cashback card. Let me show y'all this one. They'll approve you for like a $500 credit limit if you're a student, and you could prove that. But if you're not a student, then just get the secured credit card. You're gonna have to put another deposit there, but it's good. You got two primary trade lines. You got two credit cards that you starting off with. That's gonna make your credit strong. So yeah, Navy Fed secured credit card and Discover It secured credit card. These are the only two credit cards that you're gonna have, right? Now, if you want to show that you have rent payments on your credit, this is perfect. Like if you're trying to get approved for an apartment, but in general, just a backdated primary trade line on your credit report. So a trade line, most of y'all are not going to know what that is. For the people that are just starting credit, a trade line is basically like, how do I explain it? Like an account on your credit. You get what I'm saying? Like an account, a trade line, an account. That's basically it. You get what I'm saying? So rent reporters is you could backdate it 4 years. Let's say if you've been living on a property for the last 4 years and you've been making payments, you could report those payments on your credit. So now think about it, right? If you got a 4-year-old account on your credit, how does that look on your credit when you try to get approved for a credit card, where you try to get approved for something simple as an apartment? They look at your credit and they say, damn, they've been making past rent payments for the last 4 years. Like, you look more credible. You look more like they can trust you. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, the faster you start your credit, the better, because you just have age. You've been in the game, man. Like if you just start your credit and you try to apply for a credit card, if you try to even get a whip, like if you're trying to get a vehicle, most of y'all know that y'all get fucked over. Like you trying to get a vehicle, you don't got no credit history, they gonna bag you, they gonna fuck you over with that interest rate, and they gonna make you put a high ass down payment, man. So y'all know, for the people that have been trying to get a vehicle with no credit, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, man. Like they gonna bag you, I'm telling you. So if you got some age on your credit, if you started your credit a while ago and you let your credit season, now like you can get approved for that vehicle that you want, that credit card that you want, because you've been in the game. You get what I'm saying? You got to compare this credit shit to real life situations, man. I always compare this shit to like females. So like if a female know your resume, know that you've like, how do I say it? You've had like, oh, he got a lot of hoes, he a player, yada yada. She more interested. That's just how it works. Like she more interested. If you a nigga that's lame, you don't got no hoes in the past, you get what I'm saying? Like she gonna look at you like a weirdo. What the fuck? He ain't never fucked with a hoe. Like he ain't never fucked with a girl. Like, is he weird? Is he crazy? You get what I'm saying? That's how these banks look at you, bro. It's the same shit. If you got some history, some positive history, they gonna fuck with you, man. If you've been in the game for a minute, they gonna fuck with you. Same shit with these females, brother. Like, credit is easy to understand. Compare this shit to real life situations. That's why a lot of people fuck with me, because I try to make it as relatable as possible. So yeah, they could backdate you 4 years. Let me show y'all how much does it cost for one lease and up to 2 years of rent history. So if you want backdated 2 years, $94.95, $50 for each additional lease reported. Ongoing monthly reported if required, $9.95. How long does it take? 5 to 7 days. Yeah, y'all could go through this shit on your own. You know, it reports to all three bureaus. Now, back to the pledge loan, y'all. This is what I wanted to show y'all. Back to the pledge loan. What's up with this shit, man? This shit glitching. All right, look. So, with a pledge loan, it's basically like you working with your own money. It's going to be a little difficult to explain. That's why, you know, I'm pulling up this YouTube video of me explaining like the whole like play with, you know, how a pledge loan works, the hacks that you can do. I explain everything here. You get what I'm saying? Like, everything is up to date. So I would definitely recommend y'all to watch this video when it comes to pledge loan hacks. I explain how this shit works. But like I said, it's basically like a trade line that, you know, reports on your credit, and it shows that you're making positive payment history towards, you know, that pledge loan. Like I said, for the beginners out there, man, you're gonna be a little confused. Watch this video. In this video, I explain it very easily. So far, you got a secure credit card, you got a pledge loan with Navy Fed. So you got two products with Navy Fed. That's how you build your relationship, and you banking with them. If you do this constantly for 6 months without missing no payments on this secure credit card, without fucking over on the pledge loan, and you know, having some little deposit going in, it don't gotta be nothing crazy. They gonna approve you for a credit card. They gonna graduate this secure credit card. They gonna give you that $200 back, and they gonna turn it into a cash rewards card. They gonna give you a $2,000 cash rewards card, and then around that same time frame, you can apply for another credit card. Like right after they graduate this shit, you can apply for another credit card, or you can, you know, apply for an auto loan, for your first auto loan. Like my situation when I was first starting, I had did the same shit that I'm explaining to y'all. You know, I had a Discover card, etc. And I was building that relationship with Navy Fed. After 8 months, I didn't apply right after like the 6 months hit, but after 8 months, my first vehicle was a 22K vehicle. So this is another thing for the people that are trying to get their first vehicle. The maximum amount that they're gonna want to extend to you, the maximum loan amount, is 23K to 25K. 25K is pushing it. You know, it's gonna be very hard for you to get approved for a vehicle without a down payment past 25K. If you're a first time buyer, they're not gonna approve you. I'm telling you right now. You know, so I applied for a 22K whip. It was a Q50 at the time. I got a 5.9% interest rate. They gave me a decent interest rate for a first time buyer. Bro, if I would have went to a dealership, they would have hit me with 10% or higher. You get what I'm saying? So this is the like important shit of building a relationship with Navy Fed. You get what I'm saying? And I applied right after for a platinum credit card. I got approved for like 14K. I don't remember exactly. They didn't throw me 25K like they're, you know, popular for throwing, you know, that amount to like people that have already built a relationship with them. But they threw me 14K and auto loan and a 22K auto loan, bro. This is why I fuck with Navy Fed. Like, a lot of gurus out there tell y'all apply for a Capital One credit card as your first credit card, bruh. People been with Capital One for years and they still got a $500 credit limit. I don't fuck with Capital One, bro. They pull all three of your credit reports, meaning that when you apply for that credit card, they give you a hard inquiry on TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. If you watching this, you kind of get an idea of what credit is already. So TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they are three companies that hold your personal credit information. You get what I'm saying? So it's not good if you got an inquiry on all three. If you apply for a fucking secure credit card with Navy Fed, they only gonna pull one credit report, which is your TransUnion. They're not gonna pull all three. That's why I don't fuck with Capital One. And then, you know, you have that $500 credit limit with them for fucking years, bro. You've been showing them love. You've been showing Capital One for love, paying on time that little secure card, bro, and they still haven't graduated that shit, or they still haven't like upped the limit. They still haven't gave you a credit limit increase as well, because they very stingy with credit limit increases, man. So this is why I love Navy Fed. This is why I always mention this shit. People always say, bro, you always talk about Navy Fed, because there's no other institution that's going to show you love like them, man. I mean, there's a lot of other institutions. Trust me, I'm very credit savvy. Like, credit savvy means like, you know about this credit shit. Like, I know that there's other credit unions out there like PenFed, DCU. Uh, there's banks like Truist, but they're not gonna show you love when you just starting your credit like Navy Fed is. If you do good by Navy Fed, they're gonna show you love. All right, y'all. So, yeah, you got Navy Fed secured. You got that Discover It secured credit card. You opened up a pledge loan with Navy Fed. Watch the video, that way you guys can understand, because it's too long to explain, but I explain it very good in this video. And then you got a backdated 2 years or 4 years of past rent payments. Now there's another trade line. Remember, a trade line is the account. There's another account that you can add to your credit to make your credit stronger. This is Kickoff. So Kickoff, they got different plans. I need to slow down when talking, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, damn, I need some water or some shit. But look, this is Kickoff, y'all. So they got different plans. They got a $5 plan, a $20 plan, and a $35 plan. So the $5 plan consists of a $750 reported trade line on your credit, no credit check, reports to Equifax, reports to all three bureaus. Remember, y'all, these three companies hold your personal information. When you apply for a credit card, the bank that you apply for, or the credit union that you apply for, they're gonna go to all three of these companies and look at your credit. You get what I'm saying? So I'm talking to the beginners out there. This $5 a month plan is cool, but shit, I would go for the ultimate, man. A $3,500 trade line on your credit. It's like a $3,500 loan reported on your credit. So when you apply for a credit card, y'all, the bank, obviously they're gonna look at your credit and they're gonna say, oh shit, he got a $3,500 trade line. He got a $3,500 account on his credit. We could trust him. We're approving him for some credit funding. $3,500 is cool. It looks good on your report. It's better than $750. You get what I'm saying? So, shit, that's how the banks judge you, man. Banks trust other banks. For example, later down the line, when y'all get approved for a high limit credit card with something like Navy Fed, and there's other institutions out there, y'all, when you start, getting this high limit with Navy Fed, your credit starts looking stronger. You couldn't apply with other institutions for 20, 25K credit card limits, but banks trust other banks. This is why I tell y'all, get into Navy Fed ASAP, because after 6 to 8 months, when you apply for a credit card and you got a high limit reporting on your credit, now when that shit shows up on your credit and you apply for a credit card with other banks, when they look at your credit, they're gonna say, damn, Navy Fed showed this dude some love, or this female some love. Let's approve them for around the same amount of limits or higher. You get what I'm saying? So banks trust other banks, man. Compared to real life situations, bro. Like I said, back to these females, bro. You know how I am. So when a female sees that, you not weird and you fucking with these bitches out here, you fucking with some bad bitches, like, your resume is tough. They gon' fuck with you, bro. You get what I'm saying? Just like these banks, they gonna fuck with you if they see that, oh, they showed him some love. Let me show him some love. They approved for a 10K limit. Let me throw him a 10K limit. Now, if you got a little baby ass Capital One card, what you think they gonna throw you? You get what I'm saying? So your resume has to look good. It has to look tough. It has to look up to par. You get what I'm saying? So that's why you have to go with the institutions that's going to show you love with some high credit lines. So, yeah, man, credit is just trust. That's basically all it is, y'all. For the beginners out there, how does your resume look? Does it look like they can trust you or not? If you got some fucking negatives, you got some late payments, you don't got no credit established, you think they going to trust you? You get what I'm saying? It's just all trust, man. Credit is easy to understand. Like, I'm trying to simplify this shit for y'all, man. Don't get too caught up with trying to understand this shit. It's not as hard as you guys think, So, like I said, it's for the beginners out there. If you trying to start your credit, I need to talk a little slower, man. I'm stuttering a lot. I'm trying to get this shit out of the way, but yeah. Secure card, pledge loan, Discover It, Rental Karma, Kickoff. Your credit, if you get all of these, man, You know, you're gonna have to invest a little amount of money, but it's gonna be worth it. Later down the line, if you tap in with me on a more personal level, you're gonna get approved for some high credit lines, man. I'm telling y'all, we easily get people 100, 200K in funding plus. You know, that way you guys can, you know, start a business. If you're trying to get into a certain business, obviously you need some bread, you need some money. Use the bank's money. You get what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to reinvest the money that you work off your 9 to 5. Like, you gotta pay your bills. You get what I'm saying? So you have to use the banks, man. You have to get these credit lines. Later down the line, you know, you're gonna switch over to business credit cards, not personal credit cards. But you know, that's for the people that are really trying to understand this shit on a whole nother level. This is just for the people right here that are just starting to figure out this credit shit, and they want to build their credit. They want to have a strong credit profile. You know, that way they can get approved for a vehicle with a good interest rate, or a home. You know, fucking what else? A nice credit card. You get what I'm saying? This for y'all, man. This is how you start your credit off, man. So hopefully y'all understood. Yeah, hopefully y'all understood, man. Y'all have a good day.